Latto's gynecologist allegedly slipped and exposed who her baby daddy really is, and it's not 21 Savage. Now, everything about why she's upset is starting to make sense. The real father is locked up, and she never wanted that out.
Latto, where y'all baby daddy at? I'm just saying, she big mama with one kid. Y'all out here with 3 of them and ain't even know who your baby daddy is for none of them. So please, Latto, find your own baby daddy. You worried about her?
Then it got worse. She ended up revealing the one thing they were never supposed to say about that baby. I'm talking about someone tied to her pregnancy. Someone who would actually know. And once that rumor started moving, people didn't just question the father. They started rechecking everything Latto has been showing us these past few months.
People always say, oh, it's harder for a female rapper, it's harder for a female rapper, but specifically, what do we be dealing with that people don't know?
And the more clips, posts, and receipts people started lining up, the harder it became to ignore the one question nobody wants to say out loud. What if the man everybody thinks it is was never the father to begin with? Now let's slow this down for a second, because right after all this noise started building, Latto stepped right back into the spotlight like nothing was wrong. She popped out at Mariah the Scientist's sold-out Atlanta show, glowing, moving freely, smiling like she wasn't carrying the biggest mystery in the industry right now. And that's when it started to feel off. The energy just didn't line up with what was going on. No hiding, no tension, none of that keep it quiet type of vibe, just straight confidence, which made people pause. Because if everything was as simple as it looked, why does the father feel completely invisible? Now stick with me, because this is where things start getting a little deeper. While Latto is out here performing, laughing, and living her life, 21 Savage is moving real different. No posts, no reaction, not even a quiet hint. And this isn't a man who moves quiet when it comes to his real life. So now people aren't just asking where he is, they're asking why he's acting like he's not part of this at all. And that question hits even harder when you notice something else. He's claimed his kids before, openly, no hesitation. So why does this feel different now? And before anyone tries to brush that off, let's talk about something that completely shook that whole Latto and 21 Savage narrative. While fans were busy defending that relationship, someone else was right there in the front row, calm, unbothered, looking every bit like the real partner. Kiana Joseph. No hiding, no dodging attention, just there. And now the story starts changing. Because if that marriage was just paperwork, why does it still look active in real life? Why does she still show up like she belongs there? Now it's not just about Latto anymore. It's about where everyone stands, who's really official, and who's just around. And this is where Latto adds a whole new layer without even meaning to. Every time she speaks on her man, it never feels like a regular relationship. It feels structured, intentional. She even said it herself. I'm not taking care of a broke nigga.
I'm 23 and I'm having it. That's more of a reason not to date a broke nigga. I have before, but now that I got it, I'm not gonna take care at 23.
Then in another clip, she doubled down. Said her man takes care of everything financially. Sounds nice at first. But when you mix that with him staying hidden, it hits different. Feels less like love, more like an arrangement. And just when people were trying to figure that part out, Latto drops another moment that keeps everything confusing. She's joking about being over 200 pounds deep into her pregnancy, laughing it off like it's nothing.
That's a 200-pound, 8-month pregnant, third trimester woman, hard at work. Got a family to feed, got a family to...
Even in that lighter moment, that same question still lingers. Where is the father? Because every part of this pregnancy is out in the open, except him. Once people started realizing something felt off, another name slowly crept into the conversation. Drake. At first it sounded crazy, but then people started looking closer at her song, Big Mama. The flow, the beat switches, the structure, it all felt familiar. Way too familiar. And when fans went back to old clips of Latto talking about a rich man who pays for everything, it didn't feel random anymore. It felt like she was talking about someone very specific, someone powerful enough to stay hidden, someone who doesn't need the spotlight or validation. But just when that theory started gaining traction, another twist came out of nowhere. Now Future gets dragged into the conversation, bragging about having 21 Savage's girl, Latto, in the car. And now the timeline starts to feel off. If different men are being tied to the same situation, then everything changes. It's not just about who the father is anymore. It's about when this whole thing really began. And instead of clearing anything up, Latto keeps feeding the mystery without even realizing it. She's with her friends, laughing, talking about the baby, joking about the gender.
The size is what makes it girl.
The baby moving a lot at night? At night, not during the day.
Yeah, they don't do nothing.
What would you like?
A girl. What you want, a little girl?
We both want a girl.
Everyone around her is excited, everyone's showing up. But the one person who's supposed to be right there in the middle of it all still hasn't appeared, and now that silence feels louder than anything she's actually said. Then there are moments like her baby shower with Angel Reese, just pure happiness, real support, and so much love all around. And again, everything seems perfect. But the more you look, the more it feels like something's missing, like it's not forgotten, just being quietly avoided. Latto herself once opened up about dealing with powerful men in the industry, trying to control situations behind the scenes. She said clearing her album wasn't even about music anymore. It became about pressure, about men expecting something in return just to do business. And once you hear that, it sticks with you. Suddenly, every quiet detail around this pregnancy starts to feel deeper, like it's tied to something bigger. Not just a relationship, not just a baby, but power, control, silence. And that's exactly why that alleged gynecologist leak felt different. It didn't come from gossip pages. It came from someone who'd actually be close to the truth, and from what people are quietly saying. The name that came up wasn't who anyone saw coming. Not 21 Savage, not anyone obvious, but someone with a complicated past, someone tied to legal issues, someone who wouldn't fit the image Latto has been presenting. So now when people look back at everything again, it doesn't feel like a coincidence anymore. It starts to feel like something deeper was going on underneath. And maybe the most uncomfortable part is realizing there was never one clear relationship at all. Just things overlapping, different roles, different expectations, one version shown to the public, while the real one stayed hidden. At the end of the day, no one has come out and said, "That's my child." Not publicly, not clearly, not in a way that ends it. And until someone does, the talk doesn't fade, it only gets louder. So now people are stuck with questions that don't have clean answers. Was 21 Savage ever really involved? Or just the name everyone ran with? Is Drake just a theory? Or something deeper people aren't ready to admit? And if that clinic slip really did happen, why hasn't it been shut down immediately? If there was really nothing to hide, this should have been easy. Just one post, one clear answer, one moment to shut it all down. But instead, it's quiet. It's messy, and the story keeps changing depending on who's telling it, and that's what makes this whole situation feel different. This doesn't come off like a normal celebrity pregnancy. It feels controlled, like something being quietly guided in real time. Now, the real question isn't even about who the father is. It's why everyone's staying quiet. And when that truth finally comes out, this whole situation might not be what we thought at all. Because right now, it feels like a setup that's about to be exposed.